Strong turnout at the polls today was not only for the presidential election. There were also hotly contested Senate and congressional races. 5 years ago, what was supposed to be a drug raid to take down a Lima drug dealer turned into the death of a young mother. About 10 to 15 people in the crowd here during rally in the square at Lima's Town Square were hit by a car. Check out what the pros can do. This is one of Jason Emmons' creations. Republican Mitt Romney brings his presidential campaign back to Ohio. Ali Balgoyan is live outside of Heritage Elementary School. The 37% cut means Allen, Auglaize, and Harding counties would lose more than $100,000 in state funding. Lamont Monford spoke out today, hoping to clear the air about the Metropolitan Housing Authority and the investigation.
It was just chaotic. It just seemed like it happened so quick, and the ambulance was right there. It just happened so quick.
There was a guy standing behind her, and if he wouldn't have been standing there, she said what she remembered is everything flying up in the air. There was all of a sudden she was going in the air and she landed on the cement.
Victims from last night's rally in the square accident relive what they call a nightmare that came at the end of a fun Friday night.
I was standing there with my friends, and it just felt like, you know, you're at a concert and people are shoving. She just plowed into us. We didn't even know it was coming. It was just chaotic.
Diana Kramer has a broken ankle and strained back from the accident. She was one of the nearly 30 people hurt when a car crashed into a crowd of people at the rally at nearly 20 miles an hour, pinning some under the car and others against a cement sculpture.
The vehicle may have went or continued on into the sculpture, but doesn't appear as though it was at any significant rate of speed. So with the roadway evidence, it shows it's probably slowed down at least 5 feet prior to hitting the sculpture.
Investigators spent much of the night looking over the scene, trying to find answers as to why the 63-year-old woman drove into the crowd.
A lot of the evidence has been moved by the time we get here, so you have to discount some of the evidence that you see because it may not have been caused from the crash. It may have been caused from the movement after the crash.
And while the police investigation will take some time, victims like Kramer are ready to put the memories from that chaotic night behind them.
And it's over.
When Republican presumptive presidential nominee Mitt Romney entered the race for president, he said this would be a race about America's soul. The former Massachusetts governor's platform focuses mainly on the economy.
I really want to do the things that will encourage the economy to grow, put people back to work, and see rising incomes again. Middle-class families are really getting crushed. So I have a 5-point plan that gets this economy going.
Those 5 points include energy, trade, balancing the budget, creating a skilled workforce, and restoring economic freedom.
That is not much.
Romney is an established businessman, having served as the CEO of a major corporation. With that experience, Romney says he'll get America's economy back on track, something he says President Obama doesn't understand.
25 years in business has taught me something the president has never learned, and that is that the people who build enterprises take responsibility for them. But it's people, not government, that stands behind the growth of America's economy.
You create programs that you think are best to help your people get the jobs that are needed in Ohio.
Romney also talked about Obama's decision to cut defense spending, a decision that could have a major impact on Lima's Joint Systems Manufacturing Center. Romney says he'll defend military spending.
I do not believe in cutting our military. I believe the world is safer, but I believe that it is still a very dangerous place, and that a strong American military is absolutely essential.
Another part of Romney's candidacy that could have a direct impact on Ohioans is his choice of a running mate. Ohio's U.S. Senator Rob Portman's name has been tossed around for the country's #2 job, but when it comes to discussing running mates, Romney's lips are sealed.
Rob Portman is a wonderful leader in our party and a good friend, but with regards to the vice presidential contest, I've got nothing for you. Sorry.
In Bowling Green, Marissa, Sherer, your news now. So what are you guys singing about tonight?
God Bless America.
This is 3-year-old Laken Ith singing her heart out in her daycare class's performance in the God Bless America program. As this cute little girl with tons of patriotism sings, she has no clue about the big surprise that's in store for her at the end of the performance. Who's going to come to watch you tonight?
Grandma.
Yeah?
And Mama.
What about your dad?
My dad's not coming.
Where is he?
I can't understand.
Lakin thinks her dad, Sergeant Brad Ith, is still in Afghanistan. He's been there for the last 14 months, serving his second tour of duty with the Army National Guard. Little does Lakin know her daddy is just a few feet away, watching her performance from the back of the room.
I'm really excited to see the look on her face and just be able to, hold her.
Before her performance, Lakin talked about how much she missed her dad and what she'll do when she's reunited with him. You gonna hug him? You gonna kiss him? You think you're gonna cry? Yeah. Now Lakin's dream comes true, although it did take her a few seconds to realize her dad was actually home.
Hey, baby.
And with lots of hugs and kisses, the fears of having a father at war, gone for 14 months, all fade away.
You gonna sing? I'm gonna sing with you, okay? Ready? You gonna sing loud?
God bless America.
And just like that, Brad's job title changes from soldier and hero.
I want to just tell you thank you for the service to our country, and I wish you safe and may God bless you.
Back to daddy.
You want chocolate cookie or chocolate chip cookie? Huh? Chocolate chip?
And already, father and daughter have a lot of plans for the next few months.
I'm gonna go on an airplane with you.
You want to go on an airplane with me? I'll come back in a couple weeks and we're going to take you the whole summer, okay? And go to the zoo, go to the water park.
But no matter where they go or what they do, one thing will never change.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you.
You're watching West Central Ohio's award-winning leader. This is your news now at 6.
The group charged with bringing more business to the area could be taking a new direction in the future. Good evening. The future direction of the Allen Economic Development Group was a topic of discussion during last fall's Allen County Commissioner's campaign. Now's the time when many people and businesses plan for the rest of the year. So what's in store for Ohio's economy in 2013? Bluffton University economist Jonathan Andrus says the best indicators of the economy are the markets. And he says right now the outlook is cautiously optimistic. He believes Ohio will have a good but not great year. That's because economic growth will continue to accelerate and unemployment will continue to decline, but not a lot. Andrus says this is the natural next step after a very few difficult years.
We're just going back into normal economic times, and normally in a recovery, people eventually have to start rebuilding and investing again and replacing worn out capital, and that requires people to start hiring again, and so mostly it's just a normal recovery.
According to numbers released in December, Ohio's unemployment rate is 6.8%. That's the lowest it's been since August of 2008. It was former Governor James Rhodes' dream, having an airport in all 88 Ohio counties. That dream came true, but now there are 97 publicly owned general aviation airports, and some are wondering, is that too many? Money is tight, so the Ohio Department of Transportation's Aviation Department is beginning discussions with the public, pilots, and airports, along with the Federal Aviation Administration, on how to fund all of these airports. ODOT has long provided grants, usually an 80-20 split, to assist airports with renovations and improvements. With limited dollars in the state's budget, the president of the Allen County Airport Authority says some tough decisions need to be made.
There's 97 people out there, institutions that want this money, and they have to come up with a fair way to how do we appropriate this money, because there's a lot of needs, far more than what they have money for.
Newman doesn't agree with the premise that there are too many airports. He believes a new funding system involving airports will probably center around what economic impact does the airport have on its surrounding community. For Lima-Allen County, besides people who use the airport for pleasure, we have steady corporate traffic in and out of the airport, and to lose that, he says, would be devastating.
The first impressions are so important, and the people that do come here, they appreciate what they see. They're getting good service. It impacts their whole study when they look at, well, would we want to locate here? Or do we want to continue doing business here because we can't get in and out, or we're inconvenienced? Because going to a big commercial airport is not a quick maneuver for any corporation. They love to come into a small executive airport like Lima has.
Newman says the Allen County Airport tries to be self-sustaining through fuel sales and the rental of hangar space. However, they have submitted a $65,000 budget request to the county, which the county is not mandated to provide. ODOT's airport focus study discussions will come to Findlay on Thursday. It's the closest location of the 7 meetings to be held statewide. The meeting runs from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Findlay Inn and Conference Center on East Main Cross. Newman and a couple of board members from Lima do plan to attend.
We had a good deal of sunshine in the region once again today with warmer temperatures as well.
Chief Meteorologist Kyle Adams joins us now with more in our Quickcast. Hey, Kyle.
Marissa and Jeff.
The Lima Police Department needs the public's help to find a victim of a shooting.
Detectives are looking to talk to J. Lee Grant. He was shot the same time that 29-year-old Traveris Meeks was killed on Dingledine Road. Grant didn't want to speak to detectives while he was hospitalized, and after his release, he hasn't cooperated with the investigation. Detectives feel the shooting may be the result of a robbery, but are continuing to investigate the incident. If you have information about Grant's whereabouts, contact Detectives Clark or Niedermeyer at the Lima Police Department or call Crime Stoppers at 419-229-7867.
Coming up on your news now at 6, an important deadline coming up for senior citizens.
Plus, the trend being seen among older Americans around retirement age.
You're watching Your News Now at 6 with Jeff Fitzgerald, Marissa Sherer, Chief Meteorologist Kyle Adams, and Jason Geyser, Sports. For the region's best coverage of today's events, keep watching West Central Ohio's award-winning leader. Your News Now at 6 will return after this.